Alright, so I picked up this headless guitar kit for $87 plus tax shipped, and I figured I would, show anybody who was looking into it or who was curious about buying it what happens when you open the box. Alright, so we got the body, looks like. Neck. Let's see if there's anything else in there. Nothing in there. Let's see. Nothing else in there. We do have an assembly reference manual. DIY. Let's see what we got here. And it's in English, and I'm not sure what language that is. See if there's anything in here about the headless guitar. Okay, so that's interesting. So it doesn't look like there's actually anything about this particular guitar in the assembly reference manual. I guess it's just generic information. Let's see what's in here. We have a electronics cavity cover. This looks like it's the bridge. The old Overlord of Music. I believe this is a Steinberger R-Tram clone. I could be wrong about that, but it does function similarly, at least to my knowledge. Let's see. And that is pretty rough. Let's see. It's a spring tensioner. If you guys aren't familiar with this, you can see that in there. There is a latch so that it can operate as a fixed bridge. It's a lot easier with the strings on. What happens is if you see that slot right there, it'll latch on, so you can go from, like Floyd Rose style locking tremolo to a fixed bridge kind of deal. So that's pretty useful. Typically with any cheap guitar parts, you're going to need to rebuild something like this, but that's okay. We'll see. It includes a cheapy guitar cable, and looks like the trem bar is in there, and also some Allen keys. That's nice. Probably the cheapest strings around. We've got a three-way, a knob, an output jack, and some potentiometers. This is the hardware for the neck and for the headless string lock. Let's see. So that's what that looks like. The strings go across here, they lock like a Floyd, and then they pass through the back side, if you can see those holes. It's hard to show them. There they are. And you lock them right there on the top with the Allen key. And then it looks like we've got some 2-wire pickups. Yeah, so these aren't splittable or anything like that. And they kind of look like EMGs. I guess they just got the plastic cover. Now we will look at the body. It said it's basswood and flame maple. I'm sure it's a veneer. What we can see, it does have an extremely slight flame to it. Let's see if we can get it in the light here. I would say that that's not even flamed whatsoever, really. I mean, maybe a tiny bit. It does look basswood to me, but I'm not an expert. It's kind of like the Strandberg design. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's finish ready, but it does look to be constructed well. Set it here, you can see the different routes. I just put that smudge on it with my greasy thumb from playing with the bridge. All right. See how the neck is. This thing has some pretty funny dots on it, but it is cool, I guess. Alright. So it looks to be just raw maple. A maple fretboard with a what appears to be a one-piece maple neck. You're gonna have to drill your own neck mounting, and then extremely corroded fret. That could just be adhesive. That looks actually to be adhesive. Okay, you can see the frets are actually fairly shiny. Rubbing my hand up and down the neck, there's nothing really sharp, I guess, until about up here, but that's a simple fix. I'm sure that it's not especially level. There's the truss rod, and again, you're gonna have to drill that. But you know, it does feel nice. Let's check and see how tight the neck pocket is. Typically, if you can hold it by the neck, it's a tight pocket. I mean, that's not a very tight pocket, to be honest. Luckily, it's a bolt-on, you know, and, which is the case with every neck pocket, I suppose. But, I mean, it's alright. It's not too bad. I'd say this is maybe 3 to 4 pounds. It's not heavy at all. It does look kind of cool, and I've actually purchased a lot of these, you know, and they're just steadily getting more expensive. I guess, you know, you buy the cheapest one and then, you know, your options become more expensive. But this is the 4th or 5th one I've had. All of them have been built and sold, and there's not really any major issues, I would say. And they do sound fine. I mean, the pickups, they're not especially high output, but they don't sound bad either. I mean, as long as you have them set up, you know, in like a balanced manner, then there's no reason you couldn't use it. And they're not loud or anything like that, but you know, this is what you get in the kit, and I will do a video, maybe a review, after it's put together. If you've been watching this long or have any questions, you know, feel free to ask, and I'll give you any information I can. You saw the brand on the front of the box, so that's how I would find it. I don't, you know, work for any stores or anything like that, so I'm not going to give any free advertising out. But they're pretty easy to find if you just Google headless guitar kit. And like I said, this one was $87 shipped plus tax, which is 8.25% here. And it took about, I don't know, 4 or 5 days to get it. So they're in stock in the United States, it seems like, at least in my region. Thanks for watching, guys. You know, if you have any cool ideas or anything that I should try on it, then, you know, give me a shout.